Hi, Verbling. My name's Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're talking about nouns, specifically countable and non-countable nouns. And if you guys have any questions on this class or would like to suggest a future class, you're welcome to message me here on Verbling or on Facebook. And I'll put my Facebook name in the chat box for you. Trin, welcome to class.
Hello, teacher. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm really well.
Excellent. Good to have you with us, Trin. Mook, welcome to class.
Yes, hello teacher.
Hi, am I pronouncing your name right? Mook?
Yes.
All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Where are you from, Mook?
I am from Thailand.
Very nice.
Yes,
And
thank you.
Catherine, welcome to class.
Hi,
Hi, Catherine. Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Excellent. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, before we get started today, I have a little conversation question to ask. If you were an animal, what animal would you be? And I'll put the question in the chat box. Anyone else? So Trin, if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Maybe cheetah tiger. It's
A tiger?
Yeah.
Wow, very elegant animal. Really beautiful. Okay. You like what?
I like it because it's running very fast.
They're very cool animals. Mook, how about you? What animal would you be?
I would be a bird because it can fly and I can see the world from behind, from above, like bird eye view. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's maybe beautiful.
totally.
Yes.
I agree. And Catherine, if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
I don't know. I would be a dog, maybe because I love so much the dog.
They're very cute animals. Would you
Yeah.
be a big dog or a little dog?
Little dog.
All right. So I put the notes for class in the chat box for you guys. And I will screen share as well. Today we're talking about nouns, countable, non-countable, and how we can use those nouns. Trin, have you talked about nouns before? Countable and non-countable?
Maybe now is wait a minute.
How about Catherine? Have you talked about countable and non-countable nouns before?
Yes, but I never can. I could understand that term, you know.
Okay.
Or I feel that it's difficult to understand.
Definitely. Alejandro, welcome to class. Alejandro, are you there? Alejandro, I can't hear you. You might want to check your audio settings or unmute yourself at the top of the screen.
Hello. Hello, teacher.
Hey, hello. Is that Obaid?
Yes, teacher. Hello. How are you today?
Hi, Obaid. Welcome to class. How are
Thank you.
you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
All right. If you were an animal, Obaid, what animal would you be?
Animals?
Mhm.
What kind of animals?
Any kind. Trin said tiger, Catherine said dog, and Mook said bird. So
Yeah.
what animal would you be?
What you think, or what animal I like, or what you think about what?
What would you be? If you could be an animal, if you could change to be an animal, what animal would you be?
Sure, tiger. Hmm.
Popular choice today.
Thank you.
All right, the notes are in the chat box and I'm screen sharing as well. Alejandro, can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Welcome to class, Alejandro. Did
Thank
you
you.
change your picture or is this the first time I've had you in class?
No, I have been in other class.
Ah, so you changed your picture?
Yes.
Okay. If you were an animal, Alejandro, what animal would you be? Alejandro, are you there? Hmm. I can't hear
Maybe
you
maybe
anymore.
he can't hear you.
Oops. Well, Alejandro, if you're having any trouble, let us know in the chat box. Let's see. Nope. Okay. And let's get started with our discussion today. We're going to read a little bit about what countable and non-countable nouns are. Trin, can you read the first paragraph introducing the topic for us?
Oh, is it me?
No, I said Trin.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Trin, can you read it for us? Are you there, Trin?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead.
The three articles in English are a, and the. The learner has to decide now by now which one of the articles to use. In fact, there are four choices to make because sometimes no article is necessarily native speakers of course. Use the articles correctly without thinking. English learners, on the other hand, need to have some guidelines for making the right choice, particularly those learners whose own language does not have articles such as Japanese or Korean. The guidelines that follow here should help ESL students to a basic understanding of English article use.
Thank you very much, Trin. So that's the basic. And now I'm going to ask, let's see, how about obeyed? Can you read the next section for us, the highlighted section?
Yes, of course. The most important first step in choosing the correct article is to categorize the noun as count or uncount. A count noun is an a noun that can have a number in front of it. One teacher, 3 books, 76 trombones, 1 million people, and uncount. None is none that count have a number but in front of it. Once you have correctly categorized the noun using your directory of necessaries, the following rules apply.
Thank you very much. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the rules. Mook, can you read the section under uncount nouns for us?
Yes. You cannot say a or an with an uncount noun. You cannot put a number in front of an uncount noun. You cannot make an uncount noun plural. You use an uncount noun with no article if you mean that thing in general. You use the with an uncount noun when you are talking about a particular example of that thing.
Thank you very much. And we're going to read one more section before we come up with some examples. And the first part of this section, I'm going to ask Catherine to read for us.
Okay. You can put a number in front of a count noun. You can make a count noun plural. You can put both an or an and the in front of a count noun. You must put an article in front of a singular count noun. You use a plural count noun with no article if you mean all or any of that thing. I don't know what. You usually use a or an with a count noun the first time you say or write that noun.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to highlight this last section here, which goes over both pages, and ask Alicia to read it for us.
Okay. Um, you use them with count nouns. The second and subsequent time you use the nouns in the piece of speech or writing. When the listener knows what you are referring to, maybe because there is only one of the thing, you use an, not a. When the next word or adjective noun start with a vowel sound.
Thank you very much. So now that we've read the basics about count nouns and non-count nouns, let's come up with some examples. Do you guys have any questions before we do some examples?
No, teacher.
Excellent. So I'm going to ask everyone to come up with 2 count nouns. Count nouns. These are things you can count, like house and flower. Alejandro, can you give us 2 count nouns?
A house,
Uh-huh.
a doctor,
Great. A house and a doctor. Alicia, 2 count nouns.
Egg and onions.
What was the first one?
Egg.
onion is great. The first, egg. Got it. Egg and onions. Good. Catherine, can you give us 2 count nouns?
Bags and shoes.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Mook, 2 count nouns.
Pen and lipstick.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Obaid, 2 count nouns.
Finger,
Mm-hmm.
car.
What was the last one? Skirt?
Finger. Finger by this. I have many finger in my hand. Finger.
But what was the other one? Skirt?
Car.
What?
I don't know.
Car.
Care?
Car. Car.
Card. Got it. Okay, thank you very much, Obaid. And Trin, give us 2 count nouns.
Computer and guitar.
Great. Okay, now we're going to go the opposite direction and do non-count nouns, which might be a little more difficult, but hopefully not so difficult. Trin, give us 2 non-count nouns.
Money and water.
Excellent. Money and water. Thank you. Obaid, non-count.
Rice and rain.
Excellent. Rice and rain. Thank you. Mook, give us 2 more.
Milk and hair.
Awesome. Catherine, can you give us 2 more?
Oil. I don't know. Bread. I don't know if bread is a count of.
Bread works.
What?
Thank you very much. Yeah, bread is a good one.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Alicia, can you give us 2 more?
Okay, rice, cereal,
Sugar is good, but someone already said rice. Can you give us 1 more?
rice,
Someone already said rice. Can you give us 1 more that hasn't been said yet? You can think on it a minute. Alejandro, can you give us 2 more non-count nouns?
Yes. Butter and coffee.
Excellent. There we go. I'll put those in the chat box. I think you guys have figured out that all liquids are non-counts. So those are pretty easy non-count ones. Now let's go on in the document and get deeper into these. We have a note here that's pretty long, so we'll split it up. Alejandro, can you read the first part of this note?
Yes. The above rules apply whether there is or there is not an adjective in front of the noun. Some nouns can be either count or uncount, depending on the context and meaning. Do you have paper? I want to draw a picture. Uncount equal a sheet of paper. Can you get me a paper when you're at the shop? Count equal a newspaper.
And the last part of this one down here.
Uncount nouns are often preceded by phrases such as a lot of, lack, a piece of cake, a bottle of milk, a grain of rice, instead of an article. The noun can also be preceded by a determiner such as this, that, some, many, or my, his, our, etc.
Okay, So another good example of a noun that could be both a count noun and a non-count noun is beer. You might say, I want to drink a beer. Like 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers, that's countable. But it's also a liquid. So you could refer to it in general, like beer. I like beer. And you don't have to say a beer or the beer. You can just say beer in general. All right. So now we're going to talk about examples and guidelines with the concepts of count and non-count nouns. The first one, you use an uncount noun with no article if you mean all or any of that thing. So here are some examples. I need help. I don't eat cheese. Do you like music? And I'd like you guys to come up with similar sentences. So everyone write a short sentence using an uncount noun with no article. You can use any of the non-count nouns we listed earlier and make the sentence with no article.
Yes.
And try to remember to mute yourself when you're not speaking. That way we don't have background noise.
Okay,
You
start
can
to me.
unmute yourself anytime you're ready. Question?
No, I want to start.
Great. Can you
Yeah,
put your sentence in the chat box too?
checkbox. Yes, not the voice.
Awesome. So read it for us.
Mm,
Is your sentence ready, Obaid?
yeah, ready. You want me? I say that.
Sure, go ahead if you're ready.
Yeah, I don't like drink any coffee.
Yeah, that works. I don't like to drink any coffee. All right. We have a couple others in the chat box. I like some beer. Rice is expensive. Can you give me a piece of cake? And I need advice. That's an awesome one. Advice is an excellent non-count noun. And we could also say a piece of advice. Both are good expressions.
Okay.
I like some beer. I assume you mean like, right, Obaid? I like some beer, not loke.
Yeah, I make mistake just when I type. Yes,
Sure.
I like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And are you talking about a specific event, like if you go to a bar and say, oh, I'd like some beer? Or are you just saying in general, I like beer?
Maybe specific beer. When I
Okay.
want to specific beer, I can't say I want to beer. When I ask you the worker about one beer, specific beer, I can say, please give me the beer. That's right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or if you're asking, like at a bar, you'd say, I'd like some beer. Make it a little more polite. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Trin, can you read guideline number 2 and the examples for us?
Okay. Uh, you use the with and uncount now when you are talking about the particular example of that thing. Uh, Thanks for the help you gave me yesterday. I didn't eat the cheese. It was great. Did you like the music they played at the dance?
Thank you very much, Trin. And now we're going to do this same exercise. Everybody write a sentence in the chat box using an uncount noun with the article the this time.
Okay.
So a specific example of an uncount noun. And put them in the chat box when you're ready.
Okay.
I sense this one is a little more difficult. The answers aren't coming as quickly.
I don't know, teacher.
Okay, well, try to use these examples to help you get creative and make a sentence. We have thanks for the help you gave me yesterday, or I didn't eat the cheese. So looking at our list of non-count nouns, let's see.
The K, no, no.
You can say the cat, however, if you look at the list of non-count nouns and put the before it, you could say something like, the rain yesterday flooded my street. Or anything. So use those non-count nouns with the to talk about a specific example of that noun. We have some other good examples in the chat box. Obaid, would you like to read us yours?
Which one, teacher?
Well, either of them are good examples of count and non-count, but we're using non-count with the article the. Can you come up with another sentence using a non-count noun with an article the? We've got an excellent example.
Yes.
I liked the food you cooked yesterday.
I want to put the sugar white in my teacup.
Yeah, great. So I want to put the sugar in my teacup. Sugar is non-count, but he's talking about specific sugar, not any sugar, but the sugar on the table, or the sugar closest to him, maybe.
The sugar white or brown.
That would be brown sugar or white sugar then.
Yes.
The brown sugar or the white sugar. Great. That's an awesome example. We're still thinking. So if you already have a sentence, feel free to write another sentence to help us get our creative juices flowing here. Alejandro, do you have a sentence ready for us?
Yes.
Read it to
The
us.
hamburger. Huh?
Go ahead.
I like that in my lunch. Sorry. Sorry. An example. And the hamburger was corrupted.
The hamburger was what?
Corrupted.
Corrupted? That is a very interesting sentence. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so if we use the hamburger was corrupted. It's a good sentence. The sentence is formed well. However, it is not an example of a non-count noun. It is an example of a count noun because you can have 1 hamburger, 2 hamburgers, 3 hamburgers.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Uncountable.
This one's more difficult. We're using uncountable nouns with the article the. And
Okay.
Trin, can you read us your example in the Google chat box?
Okay. No person will not drink water because it is the common people do.
Interesting. And so I like your non-count noun, the common people. That's definitely a great non-count noun, but I'm having a little trouble understanding the rest of your sentence. Are you trying to say nobody doesn't drink water? Nobody doesn't drink water? And a better way to say that would be everybody drinks water because it's what the common people do. That's totally true. Speaking as a common person myself. Okay. Catherine, read us your sentence.
I like eat butter with the bread.
Okay. And in this case, we'd have to be talking about specific bread, right? Like not any bread, but the bread that's on my table, or the bread that is my favorite, or the sweet bread, or something very specific. So it's a good sentence as long as you're not talking about bread in general, like general butter on general bread, but it would have to be context-based, like there's a piece of bread in front of me and I say, oh, I like to eat butter with the bread.
Understand.
Awesome. Okay. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds to get in any last sentences for this, and I'll come up with one more, because, excellent. Alicia, read us your sentence. Alicia, can you read us your sentence?
The sea is beautiful. No?
Great. Yeah, that works. This is a good example because it's something that we only have one of, like the sun or the moon. Great example. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. And one more would be something like, let's see. The oil in my pantry went bad. So it was old and the oil went bad. So oil is non-count, but I'm talking about specific oil. All right, we're going to move on to number 3 now. And how about Catherine? Can you read number 3 for us and the 3 examples here?
Okay. You usually use a or an with a count noun the first time you say or write that noun. Can I borrow a pencil, please? There's a cat in the garden. Do you have an MP3 player?
Thank you very much. This one I think will be a little easier than the last. So we're going to use a count noun with a or an. We're introducing a count noun. So it's a previously unknown count noun. Write a sentence for one of these and put it in the chat box. Interesting sentence, Alicia. I think it's a good one, but I'm not sure exactly what you mean, because usually if I say I would say I like apples because I'm talking about apples in general. Do you mean
Okay.
something else? You could change it a little to make it better. I would like an apple.
Okay. Perfect.
And that would be like a more specific apple. Like,
Okay.
all right. All right, we're waiting for a couple examples, and if you already have your sentence done, feel free to make another one. Give us another example if you have free time. The more examples we get, the better we will learn. Trin, do you have a sentence ready for us with a count noun using a or an?
No, I'm not ready.
All right, keep working then. Obeyed, do you have anything ready for us?
Yes, teacher?
Do you have your count noun sentence ready for us?
Count. Yes. Yesterday I was read some books.
Okay. Can you use a count noun with a or an for this sentence like we see in number 3?
Yeah. Number 3. Yeah. Yesterday I was read a book.
Excellent. I was reading a book. Great.
Yes.
And go ahead, stick it in the chat box whenever you're ready. Another great one in the chat box, I need a map for the UK. We just need that one more article in there, but a map is a wonderful count noun using a or an. Alejandro, how about you? Can you give us a short sentence using a count noun with a or an?
Yes. I have got a t-shirt, a big t-shirt.
Perfect. I have got a big t-shirt. Great. Okay. If you're
But
still working, oh, go ahead.
teacher, I have one question or some comment about countable or uncountable. Sometime we found one word inside countable, but this is one word like country or country or people.
So you're saying country is countable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can have one country or two countries, like Mexico and Bolivia are two countries, plus Brazil would make 3 countries. Do you have a question on that, or what kind of comment are you saying?
Some words meaning many things.
Yeah, that's true. So words with multiple definitions might change depending on context.
Hmm.
Good point.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
we're going to move on to number 4. And this one, how about Obaid? Go ahead and read this for us.
Number 4. You use the with account. mm, Just yeah. Number 4. Yes. You use the with count nouns, the second and subsequent times. You use the noun or when the listener already knows that you are referring to, maybe because there is only one of that thing.
And the examples?
Um, in the box yellow,
Yep.
where is the pencil I lent you yesterday? I think the cat belongs to the new night horse. I dropped the MP3 player and it broke. Please shut the door.
Thank you very much. Okay, so for this one, we have a more specific requirement. You guys are going to write 2 sentences here. The first one is going to be like the last rule we learned, like number 3, and the second one will follow rule number 4. For example, I could say, can I borrow a pencil? And then someone might respond, where's the pencil I lent you yesterday? So in my question, I'm asking for a pencil. That would be one of a non-countable noun. And the response would be talking about a specific countable noun, because in this one we're going from introducing a topic to knowing what we're talking about. So I baked a cake yesterday. The cake was chocolate. The first time we talk about a noun, we use a to introduce it. And then after that, we use the. So I drank a glass of water, but the glass was dirty. Or I have a door in my bedroom and I like to keep it shut. Or I've always wanted a cat, but the most beautiful cat is already sold. So you'll write 2 sentences, the first one introducing the topic and the second one referring back to it more specifically.
Yes, that depends of the sentence. When you say the sentence, maybe a specific something or like a pencil, like pencil I give you yesterday. That pencil, where is my pencil? This is specific things.
Right, so the first sentence you're going to use a or an, and the second sentence you're going to use the.
Yes.
Teacher, my sentence is correct or no?
I think so. The sun is a star is a good sentence. I'm not sure why you added tomorrow, though.
Okay.
Because it's true basically all the time. The sun is a star.
Okay.
Okay. So, and it's actually pretty interesting because you kind of combined the 2 sentences. It's a star and it's also the sun, right? I love that example, Alicia.
Okay, thank you.
And to answer Amar's question, parents are a countable word. You can have 1 parent, 2 parents. All right, so let's come up with more examples, and let's see if we have any in the Google chat. Watch out, a meteorite is falling from the sky. Oh my goodness, the big tower is falling down. Great sentences. So let's try to make a sequence now. The sequence would be 1, I bought a pair of glasses. And 2, the glasses are very stylish. Okay, so in this sequence, you can see that I introduce the topic using a pair of glasses, and then I refer back to it saying the glasses, because in the beginning, I'm saying one of many. And in the second sentence, I'm referring back to a very specific pair, not any pair, not one pair, but that pair. And to answer one more question in the chat box, we cannot say peoples unless you're talking about cultures. So for instance, we have 1 person, 2 people. We can't have, well, let's see, 1 person, 2 peoples. But if I said 2 peoples like this, I would be talking about the people of China and the people of Spain. So if I say 2 peoples, I'm talking about 2 distinct cultures and the people within them. Okay. We only have a few minutes left, so we're going to go on, but I encourage you guys to continue write sentences for number 4. Let's read number 5. How about Trin? Can you read number 5 for us and the examples?
Okay. You use a plural count noun with no article if you mean all or any of that thing. Example, I don't like dogs. Do they have children? I don't need questions, give me answers.
Thank you very much. And we're going to go right on to number 6. Alicia, can you read number 6?
Okay. The above teacher above rows. The above rows repeat whether there is or there is not an adjective in front of the noun. I don't eat German cheese. Can I borrow a red pencil, please? There's an strange large cat in the garden. I don't like small noisy children.
Thank you very much. Okay. So those are some general guidelines. And on the next page, we have count and non-count words. I'm going to ask you guys to tell me if the word is count or non-count, and then to write a sentence with it. So starting with Alejandro, is number 1 count or non-count?
Number 1, it's count.
So there are many different worlds. We have 1 world, 2 worlds, 3 worlds.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. So write us a sentence using that as countable. I think in general it's used as a non-count because most people think of just having 1 world, you know, like the Earth. But if you want to get imaginative, you might be able to use it in the plural. So if you want to write a sentence like that, go ahead, Alejandro. Alicia, what about number 2? Is it count or non-count?
Count.
Awesome. Write a sentence using that word. Catherine, number 3, countable or non-countable?
I think it's non-countable.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a liquid, so it's not countable. Write us a sentence using it as a non-countable noun. And Trin, number 4, countable or non-countable?
What number?
Number 4.
Flame, uncountable.
Okay, write us a sentence using it as an uncountable noun. I think it's actually countable. 1 flame, 2 flames. But if you think you can write a sentence using it as non-countable, I encourage you to do it. All right, Alicia, try number 5. Is that countable or non-countable?
Countable.
Poetry, countable? 1 poetry, 2 poetry?
I don't know. Yeah.
This one probably is not countable because we can have 1 poem or 2 poems. But poetry is talking about the entire category. Kind of like we might have biology, chemistry, and physics, but those are all under the category of science.
Okay.
Write a sentence with poetry using it as a non-countable noun. All right, Catherine, great sentence. You can use the vinegar with the salad, or maybe on the salad would be better. Just a switch of prepositions.
Okay.
And Catherine, what about number 6? Countable or non-countable?
Applause is countable.
Okay, like 1 applesauce, 2 applesauce? Oh, applause, sorry. 1 applause, 2 applause? Can you say applauses?
I don't know.
This one usually is not countable because applause is when many people clap their hands. So it would be something difficult. If we have more people clapping more hands, it still is just 1 general applause. And we have 1 sentence in the chat box. Careful, the flame can burn you. Great sentence, Trin. Thank you. All right. Alejandro, I'm still waiting on your sentence with world. Do you have one ready?
Yes. There are some words.
All right. Not the most creative sentence I ever heard, but it works, I guess. I still think that it's kind of funny if you talk about worlds in the plural. You'd have to be like in a comic book, maybe, or in a science fiction movie, right? It would make more sense in a science fiction movie. All right. Do you guys have any questions or comments before we finish up today?
No.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming and participating today. And I have a few more classes coming up, so maybe I'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
No salgo yo de aquí.